End of the day, May 9th, 2025. Happy Friday. In this one, I called an all-in, lost. I wanted to see if this was a bad decision or not. Let's dive in. Okay, we are about 24 bigs deep, and we are in the cutoff. Everyone folds to us. We have ace-4 of clubs, obvious raise. And then we get a call from the big blind. Standard play so far. The flop is 7-3-6 with 2 diamonds. Good flop for our opponent. Bad flop for us. If you don't know why, put that in the comments. Say, please explain that more. Why is that board good for your opponent and bad for you? I'll be happy to dive into more detail about that. But in the interest of keeping these short and sweet, bad board for us. Opponent decides to check. If I had any backdoor equity whatsoever, I would bet. So if there was a 7 of clubs, I would bet here, and I would probably bet like half pot. But there's not. We have no backdoor equity. I mean, we have a gut shot, but that's not good enough for me to bet. Plus, I don't want to get check raised. So you can see here, ace-4 of clubs is mostly checking. So we got this spot right. So far, so good. Now an ace of diamonds shows up. And the big blind checks again. And now I think I should be betting because I have top pair. And I don't want somebody to be chasing a diamond to get a free card. They could also be chasing a straight, although we block the straight, so less likely. We're mostly worried about flush draws. So ace-4, mostly betting. I bet 55% pot, which appears to be correct. I could have bet a little more. And then our opponent does this. Rips it all in. And I wanted to look and see when they raise. They shouldn't have raised all in, but when they do raise, let's just pick all their raises. How often are they doing it with a flush or a straight? And how often are they doing it with draws? So this is a cool feature in GTO. If you go over to filters, what you can see here is all the hands that the opponent could be doing this with that are already a flush, a straight, yada, yada, yada. But to summarize, if somebody is playing pretty close to GTO, which like is a big caveat, 40% of the time they should have no made hand, lots of draws, straight draw, flush draw, all that kind of stuff. 3% of the time they're going to have a flush already. 2% of the time they're going to have a straight. So they got a made hand that beats us 5% of the time ish, 6% of the time. Well, they got 2 pair. So 10% of the time they beat us. And then I suppose when they have top pair, they beat us a little bit too. So let's call it 13% of the time they beat us. And then all this other stuff, we're ahead. So I think I have to call here. Let's look. Yeah, I have to call. Any ace has to call. Just call and lose if you lose. I mean, sets are calling, overpairs are calling. What are you going to do? So I snap called, and our opponent turns over 9-8 for the most beautiful combo draw you have ever seen in your life on the flop. And sometimes you just run into it and you lose. What are you going to do? That's poker. All right, looks like we played it right. Just bad luck. Maybe we'll start fading some of these hands in the future. All right, see y'all next time.